As the roster of SSR hunters in Solo Leveling Arise grows and the list of artifacts applicable to them grows as well, it gets more and more confusing to know which artifacts are best for which hunters. So today we're going to cover that topic and tell you guys how to build whatever character you want to build in Solo Leveling Arise currently. Starting off with the brand new Amamiya Merei, the brand new hunter that just released in the game. So I hope you guys enjoy. Before we get into that though, quick word from today's video sponsor. I recently started playing this awesome new AFK game called Ninja Tail, and I've got to tell you, it is absolutely amazing. And you can check it out via the link down below in the description. In AFK Ninja Tail, you choose a team of your strongest fighters and duke it out against the crazy competition on the other side. You've got all the beautiful animations that you would ever need, including these awesome special attacks. You can even do 1,000 free summons. All right, let's see if we get something good here. Oh, what is it? What is it? What is it? Oh, a Neji. Okay. The choice is yours. You can summon an unlimited number of times for a character that you're looking for. And on your first recharge, you can unlock an amazing character to help you jumpstart your account. So what are you waiting for? Get started with AFK Ninja Tales today if all of that sounded awesome to you via the link down below in the description. Bear with me, I have a little bit of a cold, but let's go ahead and just simplify this by starting to talk about the Burning Blessing, Burning Greed, and the Burning Curse sets. So to really break this down, give you a one-shoe-fits-all type of scenario. If the character is a damage dealer, you're putting Burning Curse on. Ideally, though, I mean, you can go for the 8-piece. Ideally, though, it seems like the best set is going to be forward left side, and then on the right side, a set like Expert for most hunters. So keep that in mind, 4 and 4 split. But again, the 8 works as well, especially if you're just trying to get a very high total power, which maybe can get you out of the red for the content you're taking on. If the character is predicated on breaking the opponent, Burning Greed winds up being exceptional for that hunter. It doesn't matter who they are. It synergizes very well with them. Again, you can go 4 or 8. It's up to you. I typically would go 8 on Burning Greed and Burning Blessing. And Burning Blessing is the one that you're going to put on your hunters that are predicated on supporting characters typically. Now, there are some other caveats to Burning Blessing, other things you can potentially put on, like Outstanding Connection if you wanted to do that, etc. But once again, another scenario where I'm just putting on 8 of these. So that covers pretty much everyone in the game. They're either going to be a damage dealer, a breaker, or a support character. I mean, there's some like defense kind of characters, but they typically also break, right? So that's kind of how that works. So when we shuffle back over to the hunters and we start off with Amamiya, so she has a lot of different sets. So the first thing I want to kind of tell you, and we're not going to do this for every hunter, but the first thing I want to tell you is that her playstyle is predicated on using that ultimate ASAP, so you want to get that ultimate first. And so as a result, I actually think that this second dupe is at the bare minimum necessary for her. Now, if you don't have that second dupe, I do recommend you running Destroyer on either her or on the other hunters on her team, so you can help, so she can help, or get help, excuse me, getting that ultimate faster with the Destroyer set on one of them. And we'll talk about Destroyer on her in a moment, but that dupe is very, very important for her. But they also came out with a new artifact set that's really strong for MP-based hunters, and she is also that. She's the first of her kind, where she's like super duper predicated on having higher MP thresholds or numbers, right? So when we look at her overall, this is one set that I had, but this is not my recommendation for you guys. Like I said, I like Destroyer for the ultimate utility there with the power gauge and all that stuff. Executioner was one that I was testing out. I actually recommend going full Expert on the right side, or the new set here. Let me go ahead and pull it up here because I don't have that full set yet. If we go back over to the artifacts, it is this set here. Let me pull it up. This one here. Outstanding ability. So this is a right side piece set of all these accessories. When the user has 70% more of their MP, damage dealt increases. The damage dealt increases, effect potency increases to 25%, and the effect now triggers when the user is at 40% or more. So she is predicated on trying to have high MP. So with these substats on whatever artifacts you're running also, you want to have MP, additional MP bonuses on there. MP cost reduction is also useful. And then the tried and true critical damage, attack, blah, blah, blah. So that's more or less what you're going for. But regardless, like I said, outstanding ability is a really, really solid 4-piece right side set for her. And so we talked about that already with Destroyer a little bit, but you can go Obsidian Ring on the right side and then also Burning Curse on the left side. That works pretty well, I think, for her. You could go Burning Curse with Expert on the right side as well. That would work for her pretty well. You could also do some other stuff like Toughness left side and then Obsidian on the right side. armed left side, obsidian right side. You could do a lot of different things for Amamiya. She has a lot of different utility. So that's more or less how I would look at her overall. You can also try to do some funky stuff with her. She has some funky utility where you can do this here, right? Increases the damage of the team's elemental weakness. When they use the ultimate, she does start off with the ultimate pretty early on. You can do one-hit kill on her if you've got her fully duped out. Like she's very versatile, and you're going to see that a lot of hunters are very versatile. But in my opinion, I think that I would throw personally, especially if you have that second dupe on her, I'm throwing Burning Curse left side, probably Expert right side. But again, the Obsidian, I need to test that one out a little bit more. And that's how things would go. I'm not putting anything else on. Champion of Field. I mean, those are good, like, secondary options, I guess, if you have to do it. Executioner, a solid secondary choice if you wanted to do that. But I'm looking at Obsidian, and I'm looking at either. You could even, honestly, you could look at full 8-piece Burning Curse, like I mentioned earlier. So that's how she's going to be built, in my opinion. And so I'm going to actually unselect all these because I just wanted to show that because every now and again I go through my hunters and I take everything off of everyone. Dongsoo he's the only other guy that has anything on, so he's pretty early on the list here. And Guardian, I like on him a lot. You can also, for the right side piece, go Executioner. I actually need to shuffle back to some. And by the way, they gave out these, but these are just this is just basically the Expert set, but a higher level version of it. So there's that. But I also really like what's it called on him? Burning Curse, right? Because Curse just does damage up. Yeah, Curse just does damage up. But I like the utility of having this set on for him because of the synergy with shields, shield removal, etc. And for the primary stats for him, I kind of talked about it a little bit with Amamiya. I may or may not forget to talk about it throughout the hunters in this video. But you're looking for defense. You're looking for defense penetration. You're looking for critical bonuses. That's more or less what you're looking for. You're not really looking for attack. You're looking for those stats overall. And yeah, so I like this one. If we shuffle back over to the artifacts though, because again, there's so many new sets that they dropped. I mean, not really, but there's a handful of them. If we shuffle back over to the pieces, this is how things look. A couple of quick notes. I'm not going to bring this thing up too much because I really want to test it, but this thing really intrigues me. I actually really think this is pretty intriguing. Increasing elemental weakness damage. I think that's a pretty universal bonus, and it's very easy to trigger, and this one kind of intrigues me a lot. It may be super duper good, but I need to test it a bit. But when I was looking through these a bit more to just kind of make sure I had everything I needed to know, I forgot about Warmonger. This is a super duper strong set, increasing the attack and defense. Very, very strong. Works really well on Amamiya as well, by the way. I totally just blanked on this being here. It would work really good on Dongsoo too. So Dongsoo doesn't care about the attack increases, but he does care about the defense increases, and that's a very strong defense increase. 4% there, and then also another 3% for 6 seconds, stacking up to 8 times on your attack hits. Very, very strong, especially on a character like Dongsoo, who is able to spam his attacks a bit. So that'll be very, very useful on him. And actually, I always forget with Sub, but I think that she scales off of defense too, right? Or is it HP? I think it's HP, actually. I'm pretty sure it's... Yeah, if she scaled off of defense, I'd really like that set on her too. Anyway, so that's more or less how we're looking for Dongsoo here on the left side. You can go Guardian, you can go Warmonger. It's kind of up to you. You could go full Burning if you wanted to do that. I probably wouldn't do much else, though, in general on the right side. Or on the left side, excuse me. On the left side, it's kind of the same setup as Amamiya. If you wanted to do any of that stuff, it's kind of the same deal for this guy. He's another damage dealer character. I will say that, you know, if you wanted to do something like Berserker, that may or may not work for you too. It's one of those options, but I'm trying to give you all the options overall. We move on to Hae-in, literally a third damage dealer, largely the same stuff I talked about before. She also works exceptionally well with the toughness set. Toughness is good on pretty much anybody though, unless you're Jong-in. That dude got screwed because he can't crit. Toughness kind of works good on largely anybody unless you're Jong-in or somebody like Jinho, who's not really out there to do any damage at all. Or like Byung-Gu, which it actually is good on him too for the damage bonus, right? Anyway, toughness is one of her best sets overall. As you see, her primaries are critical based in attack. So if you have a high level toughness set on her with critical bonuses, she's going to absolutely decimate the opponent. Burning Curse works really well on her. I like Warmonger a lot too. I'm not really looking at too much else. I will say I think that with higher dupes, like I actually have now, yeah, so the damage and critical rate of Light Event increases by 20% and 2% respectively, depending on how many instances of the dancer you have. You could kind of make a fun little nuke build for her with one-hit kill. I think you could do a one-hit kill nuke build. And she would just, she's going to like nuke something. good lord. With stacks and the brand, and she's going to nuke something. So that's more or less how I would build her on the left side. Moving on from there to the right side, Expert winds up being pretty much her best set, or this Expert proxy thing, Seashell Romance, sure, whatever. You could go full burning if you wanted to do that. I don't really care all too much about the other sets here. I will say, actually, you know, I want to be a little bit more lenient on outstanding ability, because the 4-piece is actually really strong. Because even if you're a hunter like her that kind of spams your skills, like with the dancer, it's not hard for her to maintain at least 40% of their MP. That's not all that hard, right? So a flat 25% there is a huge bonus. It's just that Expert winds up being insane. So that's where Expert winds up being good. But the tricky thing with Expert, and I guess the proxy too, is that the tricky thing there is that, like, it's hard to get all those stacks. If your team is so built up, you're super over leveled, maybe that's the case. If you're not over leveled, then sure, that's fine. It's easier in that scenario. Or if you're in team mode and you're not playing as Sung Jinwoo, it's also hard to get those stacks because you have to be out there for a good period of time with these characters to get the full stacks. So a lot of times I get half the stacks, 3/4. It's hard to get the full, but it's really strong in like gem content, the gem farming content. So that's more or less how I would build Chae-in. Tried and true, though, toughness expert, that's the classic build for her that if you wanted to do that would work. Like I brought up, Warmonger works too. I don't think they even changed anything here. I'm not using Executioner or Champion of Field. I'm just going expert. All right, so Soohyun. So she's tricky because her best set kind of depends on if you have defense penetration on your stuff, because she's so predicated on that. But another damage dealer, she's going to work well with Warmonger. She's going to work well with... Actually, she works well with a lot of stuff. She works well with pretty much anything. Burning Curse, Toughness, Warmonger. She works well with really good... like pretty much anything. You could put... what's it called on her? Solid Foundation. If you were really, really feeling kind of juicy with her, you could get the core attack damage up. She's so predicated on that too. Like, she armed too. I forgot about that. I actually like armed for her a lot. Actually, ironically, armed was the set I had on her before I unequipped everything. I had armed 2-piece or 4-piece on the left side, and then I had a 2-piece of Curse on the right side with 2-piece Toughness, I think. I didn't have all the pieces that I wanted. They were on other hunters. And I don't really like doing a lot of 2 pieces. If you couldn't tell, I like going 4-4 or 8 if that's possible. 2-piece armed is okay, the attack increase. At that point, though, I'd probably just go 2-piece Warmonger for the record, because you get attack and defense, which even though she doesn't scale off of that for her defense, she will get more bulk, right? So that's the good thing about the defensive stat there. So pretty much everything I told you with the Hunter so far applies here too. Right side, largely the same thing. It really just is. You can do Champion of Field on her if you wanted to do that. You wanted to get more. The thing with Champion of Field is that it grants you more offense from the jump, as opposed to expert, where you've got to build up to it, right? So that's kind of where this is good. It gives you all that offense up front. It's just got a lower ceiling, so that's more or less where that one works. So if you wanted to put that on, that's good. I also kind of like the Viridescent Concentration of Power on her, Firepower set on her, so she can use her skills a little bit more. But more or less, that set is one that like can also work on pretty much any hunter if you wanted to, the Concentration set. It just depends on what you're going for. Seo here, she's going to be a little bit of a different hunter build. So I actually personally just like going full greed on her, if I'm being honest. I think greed fits her so well. This is Blessing. So when the user hits the target with an attack that deals break damage, it applies greed effect, increases the user's critical hit rate by 1%, stacking up to 10 times, permanent duration. And then the 4 set here, which by the way, the 2 set's pretty solid too. The 4 set here enhances it to enhanced greed, increases the user and their team members' critical hit rate and damage. Greed becomes unavailable after enhanced greed has been activated. That's fine. And then the 8-piece, when attacking enemies that have elemental weakness, the break effect increases by 30%. Increases the user and their team's critical hit rate by 15% and damage by 30%. Greed becomes unavailable later, blah, 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 but that's perfect. I think that's perfect on her, especially when you factor in how damn broken her weapon is with the critical bonuses. She wants to get crits. Crit break damage spam. That's what she wants to do. So for me, I don't really look at much anything else. Like you can put on HP increasing sets like Noble Sacrifice and blah, blah. I just don't. And Noble Sacrifice is good. I just think Greed is just her best set. There was another HP based artifact set that just came out though, right? Where is it at in the codex? There was another one that just... No, I think that one's just for supports though. I think that's one for supports. Cleric set, yeah. Increases HP, increases healing given, increases the damage of the team member with the highest total power. Maybe if it was a right side set. So you could do this and Outstanding Connection, I'd probably like that. Or not Outstanding Connection, instead of Outstanding Connection. You could do a Noble Sacrifice. I think I may have liked that a little bit better. Warmonger does nothing for her, so that's unfortunate because she's offense and she's not attacking defense, she's HP. And then once again, the same stuff kind of would work on her that we talked about earlier with the Period Necklace. And Obsidian, I think Obsidian could be solid on her too. It's just another one that's just like, what do you want to do with your hunters, right? So more or less, let's move on to the next one. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that thumbs up. And if you haven't already been able to tell, this is going to wind up being a long video because I'm giving you all the options. So Alicia, she could work with another damage dealer, largely all the same stuff I mentioned earlier. But I think her best set probably still is Solid Foundation because of it's that or Toughness. It depends on what you're going for. But Solid Foundation really lends itself to her playstyle because the core attack damage increase. But you see it's listed here. They got Toughness. I wouldn't run Armed. I'm not running Armed on her. I think Armed is good. But I think I would go either or. I'm leaning into one of the extremes. I'm going core attack increase or I'm going critical. And so a lot of people have gone critical on her as the primary, which is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. It's a pick your poison, whatever you want to do, your play style type thing. It also could be like, which one do you have leveled up better, right? Like this one is a damn good piece on her. This is one she was using. Crit rate, crit damage. I like this, right? She was using this set. So the core attack increase there is really, really strong. I think that with Tusk out, you may not need Solid Foundation as much as you did before Tusk came out. That's more or less also what I would consider with her. And then moving here, Expert is the recommended set, and it's not really all that close. You could do 4-piece Burning Curse, right side 4-piece Burning Curse, right? What's the 4-piece effect? The heal. Okay, you get the heal. The heal's good. The heal's damn good. The heal is damn good. Concentration works. Yeah. Executioner, that works too, yeah. Executioner helps you get them down faster. I still think I'm just going Expert here, if I'm being honest. I like Concentration on her as a theoretically, because it would let her get those stacks faster. So, I'm not going, personally, I'm not going with Concentration there. All right, so moving on to the next hunters. We already talked about Amamiya. Burning Greed, you're welcome. I want to try to hit a little bit faster on these. Burning Greed is what I would personally put on her. You could look at basically Sa. Go back to Sa. Just build her like Sa. There you go. So Amamiya. What the hell's your name? Meilin. Burning Blessing is all I put on her. 8-piece Burning Blessing is all that she ever has anymore. Because I really, really like the damage increase here when they tag out using support. Also, I just got that second dupe on her, and that second dupe is damn strong because it gives her the critical bonus on allies, or attack and defense, damage increase on allies. And yeah, if they're water element, they also get a little bit further. She's more or less here. Her thing is how can you make Alicia do more damage? That's what Meilin is for. Meilin is kind of universal. She's got some stuff that's pretty selective, like that passive was kind of selective, where it's like all the hunters get this, but water guys get more. She's got some stuff like that, but she's largely here to make Alicia pop better. And so at that point, it turns into what are you doing to make Alicia pop more? So you can do this set if you want, Burning Blessing. You can also do Noble Sacrifice. You could do that other new set that just came out that we looked at, the Cleric one, if you wanted to do that too. But I just think Burning Blessing 8-piece is where I'm at. So Choi, unfortunate hunter. I will say if you've got him fully built with 5 dupes, he's kind of a fun character because at that point I think I would just put on him one-hit kill and just try to spam the ultimate. You can do Firepower right side if you wanted to do that. I would probably just put on the damage increase, 4-piece of what's it called? Not Expert on him because he's not Expert and Champion of Field don't work on this guy because he's not critting. So there's that. You could do 4-piece of the Obsidian set because that would work on him. That would be fine because that one just increases damage, right? It's not. Where's it at? I don't have that piece, do I? That's annoying. That's really annoying. I don't want to look for it. That one isn't increasing attack, right? It's just increasing damage. If it's not increasing attack and it's just doing damage, then that's perfect. Yeah, just damage. Okay, yeah. Outstanding ability is what it's called. That one works pretty solid on him. I would look into that personally. So that's more. Let me pull him back up here. Let me see something really quick. Yeah, and I was going to say, is there an MP cost for the ultimate? And there is not, so that's good. I don't know why there would be because it has zone gauge, but I was just making sure. So, yeah, one-hit kill with that is perfect. If you don't have him there, unfortunately, Warmonger is a good one for him, but Armed is the classic for the left side. Armed and Warmonger, I think, are what you're looking for. You're not really looking for anything else. I mean, you could do full Burning Curse if you wanted to do that. 8-piece Burning Curse, but after that, you're pretty much ignoring largely everything else here. And then for the right side, he's, like I said, not very flexible because he can't do crit-based stuff. He can't use those sets. I mean, you can slap Outstanding Connection on him if you wanted to make him a little bit of a proxy, but I wouldn't do that. I'd probably just go Executioner if I didn't have the Outstanding Ability set. All right, here we go with our favorite Lee Bora. Where's the jiggle physics on this outfit? This outfit has no jiggle physics? Hello? I feel robbed. This is the one I paid for, right? I feel robbed. Anyway, so Lee Bora wants to do. Her main usage is as like a support character. She wants to be more of an offensive crit-based character. She's actually extremely strong in those dark-based contents. As a Dark Hunter on your team, particularly in like the gem stages, she's really strong with the support she's applying with the circle and the charms and the summons. She's actually really interesting. So anyway, what are we doing? We're doing, you have multiple options. I personally would just go Toughness on her because she's so predicated on critting. I like Toughness on her as a primary left piece set. What's the recommended? They have Armed there. So Armed is going to be what I would mention next. Destroyer, so it's, in my opinion, it's either one of those two sets. It's perfectly fine. I like either of those, but I personally would go Toughness on her. You can go full Blessing if you are Burning Curse if you wanted to do that as well. But I'm not really looking at too much else. Warmonger remains to be an interesting left side piece set, and that's more or less where I'm looking at. For the right side set, I am doing the Expert personally or Champion of Field. Either one works fine. Outstanding Ability remains interesting. 4-piece Curse is okay. And that's pretty much it. I'm not looking at Berserker or Executioner personally, which is their #1 recommendation. I think those are good sets. You know what? I think Executioner could be okay in the gem stage because Jinwoo is also there bleeding or damaging the opponent down. So Executioner could be a good one. The Concentration is one that I don't really bring up too much, but I can recommend it on largely any hunter in the game. You can put Concentration on largely anybody. So I'm not really bringing it up too often. So for him, he just wants to do basic attacks. So you're putting Solid Foundation on him. I think it's Solid Foundation or Toughness, but I don't think it's close between the two. Warmonger remains interesting. Armed remains interesting, but again, it's one of those two, and I'm going Solid Foundation left side. Right side is Berserker, and that's it. There's nothing else that he runs at all, and it doesn't. I don't care. It's just Berserker. That's it. It's really just Berserker. You know what? I will say. I will say. That Cleric set. I think you can run the Cleric set on him, right? For the HP bonus. I think you can do that, man. Because unlike Noble Sacrifice, that one doesn't nuke your attack. I think the Cleric set may be low-key kind of good. I actually think you can do that. So our boy has gotten like 5 buffs. They have buffed Yoo Jinho like 5 times, bro. Seriously, they have. I'm not kidding. I'm dead serious. And this last one made him mega good, in my opinion. They finally got it right. You know what it is? It's because they kept doing a bunch of tiny little tweaks. And then this time they were like, God damn it. Okay, we're sick of buffing this guy. Just give him everything. Stun, super armor here. Charges the dash. Didn't this ability used to have a cooldown effect on it as well? It's just gone. They took it off, right? This one here. Super armor break. Skill can be used up to 2 times. When the first hit lands, decreases the cooldown. Oh, it's this one. When the user uses this skill, it grants a shield equal to 2% of Yoo Jinho's defense to a team member for 20 seconds. That's insane. I liked his support always for Sung Jinwoo. Extra dashes was always nice. I always coped for him because of that. He used to have an ability that increased his cooldown of skills, and that's gone because it was a stupid ability. Long story short, this dude's broken. He's super good. One of the best characters in the game. And it took forever to get him here, but they did. So, soliloquy out of the way. Burning Greed. Hello, Burning Greed. 8-piece Burning Greed. Can I interest you in that? Warmonger. I can interest you in that, right? Left side. Toughness. I can interest you in that left side as well. Right side is a little bit tricky because it largely depends on what you want to do. You can go expert. You can go, like I said, 8-piece greed. I think you can go 4-piece greed right side if you wanted to. Yeah, 4-piece greed is interesting. 4-piece right side greed, left side toughness. That's interesting. I like that. I actually do like that. Outstanding ability remains interesting. Executioner is okay. That's going to be the top recommendation, watch. I knew it. Executioner remains to be the top recommendation from the game. I think a lot of that is because in early access, everyone just slapped Executioner on everything, and they saw that. Executioner is not bad. It's never been bad. It never will be bad. I just don't think I'd recommend it. Since Greed came out, I've not recommended solid analysis largely at all. I will say, can you do 4-piece solid analysis, 4-piece greed? No, because this one has that effect built into the 8-piece, right? Yeah, there's no point. There's no point. So solid analysis is largely useless. And it's going to be one of the recommendeds here. Yeah, I knew it. It's largely useless. You just go 8-piece greed. 8-piece greed on him, also giving crits, which is perfect for him, is insane. So yeah, solid analysis, I haven't brought it up once because it's largely irrelevant now. We got a few more SSRs. We'll cover a couple SRs, too. Full greed on him. I'll just call it that. You can do some fun stuff, though, with crit-based stuff like toughness, expert. I have a freaking eyelash in my eye. It's annoying the hell out of me. That's pretty much it. Champion I wouldn't put on personally. Let me fix this really quick. Oh, I got that taken care of. I just realized I said I didn't have champion on. I actually did have champion on unequip. I had that 20 set on him. Champion's okay. You know what it is? I think I'm just biased to the burning sets because I would just put 8-piece burning on. I just would. Burning greed is so good. I just would. It's got so many effects in it. Like it's got support in there. It's got break in there. It's too good. Like I just crit bonuses. I would just put this on. I don't really care. I'm just putting burning greed on. However, if you don't have burning greed, then sure, champion is okay. I did do that for a while. I thought about it when I was fixing my freaking eyelash in my eye. And the attack increase is nice because he is a breaker that's predicated on attack, which is, I think, pretty rare, right? Like all the other breakers are like scaling off of something else. Like seriously, they're all scaling off defense and HP, but he scales off of attack and he's a breaker. So he's a little bit of a different choice. He has a couple different options as a result of scaling off of attack, and it makes him play a little bit differently. But yeah, interesting character. I also do like his sniper mode as well. He's pretty fun in that scenario. And with sniper mode, I will say that on the left side, if you wanted to get a little bit spicy, you could do solid analysis or foundation as well. The red set, solid analysis, speak of the devil. And then also they have you go in one-hit destroyer for the ultimate so you can get into sniper mode faster. That works too. I wouldn't have recommended that. I'm glad that I looked at that. That works. I noticed I didn't talk about which stats to go for. I knew that was going to happen. I'll circle back to that on all the hunters. Burning greed. I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go burning greed. It's everything I said about some of the hunters earlier, like Emma Laurent, just burning greed, whatever. He scales off defense though, so you don't really want to do like noble sacrifice, blah blah. Speaking of noble sacrifice, you can do that on him. I personally go toughness left side, critical hit rate, damage up is good on him. Critical hit damage substats is great on him. You can even do the thing where you just put on pieces. It doesn't matter what the set is, and just go with crit hit damage bonuses. If he is a character that's able to use his ultimate, if he's just a support, then don't do that, because his critical hit damage increase applies to his team basically. So the higher his critical hit damage is, the higher his team members' damage is, and that works out great. He increases their rate here. He also has in the first dupe a rate increase here too. So very, 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 very strong character. Gonna age like fine wine. Does 0 damage, but that's okay because everyone else spikes damage like crazy. You can do the new cleric set if you wanted to on him. That works fine. You could do noble sacrifice, outstanding connection. You could also do 8-piece burning support, whatever, burning Blessing, 8-piece Burning Blessing would work on him too. You can do a lot of different things, but I personally am going with the toughness set probably. And then on the right side, it's up to you. Burning Blessing, Outstanding Connection. Those are the main two that I would go for as support-based sets for him. So moving on from there, that is all of our SSR hunters. Let's go through the list and talk about stats you want. Defense, defense penetration, critical bonuses, attack, critical bonuses, defense penetration, attack, critical bonuses. It largely depends on what they scale off of, if that wasn't clear. HP and critical bonuses, attack, defense penetration is okay. Damage increase is always okay on everybody, but attack and critical bonuses are what you're looking for. Attack and critical bonuses are what you're looking for. HP, critical bonuses as well. Healing given, which is really funny. It doesn't really matter what you put on her, to be honest. You can go healing given HP. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, she doesn't do much. Attack and not critical bonuses, damage increase, defense penetration. Also, with all these guys, the fire damage, water damage, that one piece that can offer that's good too. Just elemental damage, right? Attack and critical bonuses. Attack, critical bonuses, HP as well is good on him. Defense on this guy, because I'm pretty sure he scales off of that. Critical bonuses and defense is what you're looking for. Attack and critical bonuses, defense and critical bonuses, and I talked about him just now with critical hit damage being the primary if he's an ultimate-based character. If he's not able to do the ultimate, I'm probably looking at more. He's just like Meilin. If he's not actually a playable character using his ultimate, he's just doing the support skill and the passive. Kind of doesn't really matter much. You can look for HP if you wanted to do that overall. Let's talk about some of the SRs that are really good. One-hit kill on her left side is really, really strong. Also, Destroyer can be good on her too as like a support proxy character. You look at the right side, you can go more of a damage-based character or support with like Outstanding Connection. Up to you. Burning Greed is really strong here. Solid Analysis. Sure, if you're running out of Burning Greeds at this point. Burning Greed, 8-piece. Solid Analysis left side. Right side, you can go whatever you want. Outstanding Connection. These guys aren't really going to do much damage. Jinho, same exact thing. Burning Greed, Solid Analysis, up to you. Right side can be Outstanding Connection as a support character. Also can use with these guys maybe the concentration of firepower so they can just help you break a little bit more effectively. And that's it. I'm not going to bring up any of the other SRs because those are the three main SRs in the game. Yeah, that's everyone. So if there was another SR you wanted to know more about, just what type are they? Like if they're Kang, okay, well, I've talked about damage dealers a lot. So all in all, we covered all the characters, and now I wanted to circle back to Sung Jinwoo, who will get a brief mention in this video. He wasn't going to, but I was like, all right, we're not going to cover all the extra stuff on him. We're just going to go artifacts. So 8-piece Burning Curse, fine if you're looking for pure stats. His best set, I'm pretty sure, still is 4-piece and then 4-piece Expert, and I don't really know that it's all that close. Very easy, very short, very sweet. Can you use other stuff on him? Sure, Warmonger is interesting. Toughness has always been interesting on this guy too, if you wanted to do that. But I'm not really looking at too much else. There's some other stuff that, like, he can use anything effectively. You could put largely anything on Jinwoo. He's the most versatile hunter in the game. It just depends on what your outcome is that you're going for. All right, guys, hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for your support. I greatly appreciate it. Again, check out the game linked in the description, and I'll see you all next time. Take it easy.